Hello everyone, it's Gill Fountain here, and today I have got Stan with me. Now, Stan Ferguson Smith. I did not know Stan at all. I only met him because he applied to become a member of the group, and as you know, we have got very few men in this group as members, and I am very picky about who I let in. And Stan made the grade for some reason. I don't know how that happened, Stan, but we got to know each other through the It's Intro Time, which is our Zoom meeting every Monday. And what made me laugh is, as you will tell in a moment, Stan has got quite a strong Scottish accent, but he lives just outside of Stockholm. And he is the master of tech. This techie guy, you know, the technology support that we could all do with, that we can all run to when we need help. And I have to say that on a couple of times I've had to put my hand up and say, please, could you help me? And Stan has helped me out. So Stan, tell us a bit more about your business. I know that you have been in this a long time. I have got your website up in front of me, which I will show people later. But fire away there, because I know that you had a few points to tell people.
Yeah, so hi everybody from a very, very dark Stockholm. It's been dark for about 2.5 hours now, so I'm kind of looking forward to next year so I can see sunlight. Yeah, my name's Stan. I have been doing IT since 2000, give or take. So been there, done that, seen it all. Currently, I'm the Service Delivery Director for Technology Support 247. So I get to live my best life by telling people to switch it off and back on again. You know, don't ask me why it works. It just works. So, you know, one of life's little mysteries. Obviously, pandemics happened this year, and everybody's now becoming a lot more reliant on their IT. Whereas before, businesses were like, "Oh, we don't need to worry about IT; it's just there." Now, it's coming into its own, and it's what's keeping your business running and stuff like that. So, today I just want to go through a couple of things, mainly about staying safe online. I know we all do it in our sleep, but occasionally I get caught out. I've had a couple of emails this week, and I've almost clicked on them and went, "Oh, let's just check this." So it's getting to that time of year. Christmas is just around the corner. It's what, 2 weeks on Friday.
Oh.
And so we now begin to see hi, this is DPD, this is UPS. We tried to deliver a package to you, but we couldn't. Please click here to arrange the delivery of your package. It's that time of year where friends are sending you packages left, right, and centre. So you get a link. It could be you. It could be a legitimate package. It might not. So check to make sure who the sender's from. Make sure it's something like no reply at dpd.com. If you hover over it, if it says something like Paul Smith at btinternet.com, chances are it's spoofed. Don't go there. Doing all those different kind of things. My advice would be take the tracking number, write it down, go to whatever the website is, and enter the tracking number in manually. To take it a lot longer, but it just confirms that there's no nasties going to get downloaded to your machine, stuff like that. People are like, "Oh, I use a Mac. I'm not affected by viruses." Yeah, but you're not. Your machine might not be infected with it per se, but it can then go and push an email out to you. It might lift your address book, stuff like that. So don't think just because, I use a Mac, that you're safe.
Oh, that's a good tip.
Then another thing is I use LastPass. Has anybody heard of LastPass Password Manager? It's basically that you store all your passwords securely with just one password you've got to remember. Massive fan. There's a paid version, there's a free version. I'm a Scotsman who lived in Yorkshire. That you guess what?
I know where that's going.
Yeah. Don't use the paid version. You really don't need the paid version. But that's really good because it lets you know if the passwords you're using aren't secure, if they've been reused, stuff like that. But it also adds a little icon to your browser. So if you go, like if I go to twitter.com, I can see the 4 Twitter accounts I've got for various parts of the business and my personal account. So if you say you've got a DPD account or a bank account, something like that, or Netflix, it will auto-fill it in. So if you do accidentally click on a spam link and it takes you to a fake website, which looks like Netflix or whatever, or Microsoft 365, LinkedIn, Facebook, it won't auto-fill in the password. So I use that as a second sanity check to make sure I'm on the right website.
That's clever.
I
can think of many times where I've looked at a page and thought that doesn't look like the page I normally land on.
Yeah. Yeah, I use it. Occasionally a website will redesign it and move the logon page, and you don't get the logon thing. But I just use it as a kind of second sense check for my important website. So Microsoft, LinkedIn, Facebook, Twitter, it's just there as a kind of sense check.
Yeah.
LastPass runs on the watch, it runs on a mobile phone, all that kind of stuff. So it's just there. So if you go someplace and you need to log on to something, you can get your passwords quickly without needing to remember them and stuff like that.
Yeah. The thing is, Stan, that at this time of year, this is the prime time where they know that people are extremely busy and perhaps not taking as much care as what we normally do. I mean, I don't know about everyone else, but I've had packages and deliveries coming in here because we're in lockdown. So, we can't get to the shops, or it's not, you don't feel comfortable going to the shops at all. I mean, we're only in, when I say only, we're in tier 2. So we are allowed to go out to some shops, but really we don't, it's not the normal Christmas shopping season, is it? So far more are shopping online. And this is what they prey on.
Yeah, it is. It's my birthday tomorrow, and I know I've got 3 or 4 people have asked for my address over the past couple of weeks. I've had a text message just now, actually, from UPS to say my package is at the delivery point. But I didn't know stuff was coming. If I didn't know stuff was coming, I'd be going, is it really?
Yeah.
And it's that kind of
just being safe, checking.
Yeah, definitely.
And the other thing is, I guess, the last thing, being able to get online if you've got children or grandchildren even over Christmas, just to give them a little bit of a reprieve from the rest of the family festivities.
Yeah.
The last thing you want is to be worrying about whether you've been hacked.
Yeah.
Even in normal times, let alone over the times where you've got everybody, they're at home anyway, but there are times over the Christmas period where you just think, go and play a game or something.
Yeah, and it's just that kind of thing. It's because people these days, websites and that, and are saying that you need to have a capital number, you need to have a capital letter, you need to have a number, you need to have a special character. So now these, what used to be a couple-hour job, if you've got an eight character password with letters, numbers, and that, I think it takes something like 8 hours to crack.
Really?
Yeah.
And they have these algorithms that run through at speed or something.
Yeah. So basically, if you've got 8 characters, numbers, upper, lowercase, symbols, it takes 8 hours to crack.
Wow.
If you take that to 12 characters, it takes 34,000 years. So, there's a massive difference.
Wow. I didn't realise that.
Yeah. If you've got 10 characters with uppercase and lowercase letters, you're looking at a month to crack.
Right.
or 5 years if you've got everything on the keyboard.
Yeah.
I do if you've only got 4 characters,
Yeah.
even if it's a mix of everything, it's almost instantly. So
Wow.
these people are they aren't hacking the computer anymore, they're hacking the human.
Yes.
So it's easier for them, like when you see these Facebook or LinkedIn quizzes, oh, lockdown's boring, or it's Christmas time, or how many people tell us, your childhood, who was your childhood friend, what school did you go to, what was your favourite
What was your pet's name?
Yeah, basically, it should be renamed. Look, just give me your password reset answers.
Your details. Give us your bank details now, because we're going to take the money.
Yeah.
Good morning.
Because these are what these people do. Like, so it's like, oh, it's daughter appreciation day, it's son appreciation day. Like, how old? Like, when was your daughter born? Like, where was? Like, all that kind of. It's basically just give us all your personal information.
Yeah.
Because they don't want to be wasting 8 hours.
No.
They want to get it quick. So it's kind of went down to hack the human again.
Yeah.
So
scary stuff, isn't it?
It's really scary stuff. Like, I was chatting with someone this morning, and he was like, "Well, most of my passwords are like 12 characters long, and I use a mix of everything. So they're going to take 34,000 years to hack. Why should I bother using a different password on every site?" And it's down to how the website stores the passwords. Some websites, if they're done cheap and quickly, they don't encrypt the passwords in the database.
Yes.
So they're stored in plain text, or they're stored with an MD5 hash, which can be reversed quite easily. So you might be using a very super strong password, but if a website gets cracked, and your database in the password gets breached, then they've now got everything on it. So again, password manager with different passwords.
And I think most people these days realise that if you buy through a website, there is this encryption that goes on so that they can't get your credit cards. However, if you have sort of let them get in and get your passwords, they can get all of that stuff, can't they?
Yeah, and as well, there's been so many websites in the past that the data's encrypted between your PC and the server, but once it gets to the server and stored, it's stored in a flat file. It's stored as unencrypted. So if someone can get into that database, they can get the information. I don't want to scare anybody. It's very few and far between, but it can happen. So when people say, "Oh, but I use a strong password, surely it should be fine." You might be, but if someone gets that password or whatever, or they set your password, then it's good night Vienna.
But it's not only the money that's gone, it's the absolute upheaval that it does to your family, your business, your life, because you've got to start getting new cards, it's just not necessary, is it?
No, there's a website, Have I Been Pawned?
You said.
You type in your email address there and tell you if your password, the email address has been involved in any breaches. Now,
have a look at
most people, if you type in your email address, you're going to see LinkedIn in there, because LinkedIn breached a few years ago, and it was a massive, massive breach. It took several million accounts. One of the biggest ones was MySpace. Anybody remember MySpace back in the day?
I do remember that. Didn't the hospitals get hacked a couple of years?
But MySpace had 359 million breached accounts.
Oh.
Yes.
Wow. So this is the sort of thing that, I know that you're talking just generally now, that everything that applies to us all, but you also can come in remotely and tinker with our computer. And
Yeah,
if it all just breaks down and stops.
yeah, and do you know, I love coffee. I owned a coffee shop because it was cheaper for my caffeine addiction to have a coffee shop to keep buying coffee. So I'm wondering, like, anybody that wants to just have a chat about their IT, just I'm thinking about doing this, or what do I need to do? And this has been a massive year of upheaval, so there's a lot of people that have left proper jobs, shall we call them, like PYE jobs, and they're setting up on their own, and like, you know, they don't know how they want to do it, how they're going to do it. Do you know, like me, my CEO Nick, we're always up for a virtual coffee.
Lovely. And that has come up a few times in the conversations that I've been having with friends and networking, is the fact that with so many people coming out of their long-term employment, but also working from home when they're not used to it, they have now, I think we've got over the hurdle of trying to understand how to work at home, but they're now going, oh, hang on a minute, this isn't a month, this isn't 6 weeks, I'm going to have to put heavy duty equipment software into my home equipment as well, because you know, I thought it was only going to be a sort of couple of weeks or a month, and then we'd be back with everybody helping us at work, because you know, when you're in corporate, you've got all these departments around you, haven't you, that just take over and sort everything out. But when you're working by yourself, if things go wrong, it can put you out for days.
And like a lot of small companies, you know, sub 10 users, they left, like, you know, and they took their stuff home.
Yes.
And like, it was good, as you said, oh, but it's only going to be, like, you know, like, I know a lot of people, like, do you, in the UK, March the 23rd, they're like, oh, we'll be back after Easter.
Yeah, that's it. We're going to say hello to Marilyn as well from North Carolina. She's come in, and I know Stacia is in from, I think you're North Carolina as well, aren't you? So yeah,
these are morning for you. I think it's going to be morning, isn't it?
It is actually. It's coming up to, it's 18 minutes past 11 in North Carolina. Sadly, I know that by heart. Yes, it's, and you can do this on a global basis, can't you?
Yes. And do you know, like, so there's all these companies that, like, you know, they were like, maybe like, oh, well, it's fine, we don't need to do anything, we'll just get back into the office. But then they're now beginning to realize that we won't be going back into the office, or it's going to massively change. Like, you know, I know a lot of people in the UK have said that, I'll have a black one, please, Marilyn. I've just seen coffee the third time. And like, you know, that they're now realizing that they're not going to be fully at home all the time. They're not going to be in the office all the time. It's this weird hybrid model going on now, and they're having to relook at the way they're doing IT.
Well, not only that, Stan, but they haven't got the contacts. Because this is what we were saying, because all of us lot, I mean, if we've been in business for any length of time and we've been on Facebook, social media, we've got connections, we've got contacts, some of us have got thousands of people that we know we can call on in all sorts of industries. But if you've been into employment for any length of time, you've been relying on the departments, the backup departments that are in your business that you've worked for. And once you leave that sort of core group, you may keep a couple of friends, lovely, you know, close friends that you've been working with, but what you don't keep are the contacts, the people that can help you on your sort of thing, you know, on the technology thing. You don't know from Adam the people outside who can help you on this. So you are an absolute gem for sticking it out in this group, I can tell you.
Because that's the thing.
Meetings as well.
Yeah, because that's the thing. It's like, because so many people, like, you start a new job, you lock on up first day, do your induction, and then someone like me, Hi Joe, pleased to meet you. Welcome to company name. Here's your laptop. Here's your
Mhm.
mobile phone. Here's your iPad. Your email's all set up.
Yeah.
Your initial password is password whatever. Off you go. Like if you've got any
Yeah.
questions, you can just go, Stan, it's not working. But like when people move to working for themselves,
Yeah.
yes, they can fix it. A lot of people, probably under 50, have got some IT skills. They can fix it.
What are you
Uh,
saying, man?
uh, do you know what would take you 2 hours to fix? Do
Oh,
you know
more than
50
that.
minutes for me?
Mm.
And it's the idea, but as you say, it's getting those contacts of
Yes.
who does IT, and more importantly, who's good at doing IT. Do you know,
Yeah.
not like, because there's so many, like I've had fun. Oh, I've got so and so looking at my computer, and I'm like, okay. And then like 2 days later, it's like,
Oh,
yeah, can you ever look at my computer, please?
yeah. Yeah, I know. I must admit, when it comes to the techie side of it, I'm not that brilliant, I have to say. But again, we've all
Yeah,
got different skills. We were saying this at one of the networking group. We've all got different skills. It's just
yeah,
that, I'm useless at some things and
yeah.
I'm pretty good at other things.
I'm
Can't
just
do everything.
I'm just looking at Marilyn's comment. You've got scars, but you panic easily. I'm 40 tomorrow. My mum's been using a PC for like before I was born. They were the first people with a PC in the town, and she can type with these two fingers.
Oh my word, yeah.
You know, I'm a touch typist. She's like, I've got nothing on her. Like, dear, she's away. And over the summer, I was teaching. I was getting her to set up Zoom so she could speak to me and my brother at the
Yeah,
same time.
yeah,
Um, her laptop had died, so I was getting her to do it on her Kindle. So I'm on WhatsApp video call to her and talking her through. And like Marilyn, she can do it. She can use the computer, but if anything pops up, she
mm.
she panics.
Comes away from it.
Uh,
I run a networking meeting and I'm not even allowed to touch the keyboard.
so I'm talking to my mum through Zoom. I was like, okay, do that. She's like, it's asking for my name. What do I put in? And I burst out laughing, and I was like, maybe your name? You know? And she just done about. I taught you to use a knife and fork. Just remember that.
Marilyn's saying she sold desktops in 1981. Wow, how good is that?
Radio Shack. No, there's a blast from the past. What
Oh,
was the one? What was our Radio Shack in the UK? Was it Tandy?
I remember them. Oh, good grief. That's got taken us back a bit, hasn't it?
They went the way of the
When I
dough.
started in computers in London, I went to work in the city when I was 18. And the computer room and the computers were right up to the ceiling, the big, and they couldn't spew out as much as what a mobile phone does
Yeah,
these days.
it's like I think this is a 3-year-old iPhone, and I think it's got more computing power and more storage than probably the Apollo space shuttle and the space
Yeah,
shuttle put together.
yes.
And I use it to look at videos of cats on YouTube.
Oh, let's not talk about that. Right, let me show everyone your website, because I will, hang on a moment, let me just share
Yep.
my screen so that they do know where to find you. And hang on a minute, there it is. And what it looks like if they get to you. And we will put the link in
Yeah.
as we come out of this meeting. We'll go back into the video, which will be in the media section under videos. You can find Stan's presentation there. However, if you go onto his website, you will see he does an enormous amount of all sorts of areas, backup, all sorts of areas that I can't even read, about managed help desk, consultancy services. But it doesn't have to be a huge expense, does it, Stan? It can be on an ad hoc basis,
It
or
can be on an ad hoc basis. We start from £20 a month,
Wow.
And we've got a new package, Business in a Box. Well, it's Tech App in a Box. We've renamed it. And we've done that for the new people starting up. So that's your domain name, your Office 365, all that kind of stuff. Basically everything that you need to get your business up and running.
Can you, this is a question I know that you could answer, but if people get their new emails and they just don't know how to link it through and how it all gets set up, this is something that you can do with your eyes closed, isn't it?
Yeah. We can, if it's something like that, if it's just setting up, if it's just like literally, I've got an Office 365 account, or I've got these account details, how to get into my computer, it's going to be 15 minutes. Drop me a message. I'll set it up. No charge, because it's just a good thing to do to help people.
Well, look, thank you very much. I'm sure people will not take advantage of that offer. Thank you very much for joining me today. I hope to see you later on this evening.
Yes.
Yes?
Yeah,
right.
There'll
be a few people there that you might know this evening. Thank you very much, everyone, for joining us. And Stan, thank you so much. It's been a real pleasure, as ever. And I hope you get some business along the way. Stay with me for a minute, Stan, whilst I sort this out. And we'll say goodbye to everyone here. Thank you for joining us today.
Thank you.